Hi guys, my name is Vovik and today I'm gonna show you how Woodpecker works. Woodpecker is an email outreach automation tool that can be used not only to send cold emails, but also to contact your existing clients, to reactivate old leads, to promote your webinars and live events. So I encourage you to check it out for yourself and try our free trial. Alright, let's dive into demo. The first thing that you see after you log into Woodpecker, we call it a list of campaigns. So here, basically, you will be able to see your running campaigns, completed campaigns, and so on. Also, I have created campaigns specifically to send cold emails. Also, I have some sequences to reactivate my leads, to engage my inbound leads, and so on and so on. That's a great idea to organize campaigns, especially if you have a lot of them or you have a lot of team users, into folders. Folders option is available right here. In my case, I have created campaigns for specific use cases, and that's why it's definitely a great idea to organize my cold emails into folder cold emails, customer nurturing campaigns into customer nurturing folder. Okay, let's get back. Also, before we add a new campaign, a few words about stats. So here you will be able to see such basic stats of how many prospects were contacted in this specific campaign, how many delivered emails, open ratio, responded, and so on. But if you click on a specific campaign, you will be able to see more detailed stats. But we'll get back to this a little bit later. Let's start from a logical step. Let's create a campaign. Okay. So here's the panel where you add your campaign, where you build the sequence, where you add your prospects, and so on. But of course, everything starts from naming this campaign. And today my campaign will be about inviting people to my upcoming webinar. So I will call it webinar invitations. Yeah. And the next step is to connect an email or a mailbox that I want to use to send this particular campaign. I've already connected an email, but of course, if it's your first time here, you will need to connect a new email address. You just click on Add New, and then you pick your email provider. So if you use Google, Office 365 or Exchange, that's automatic connection. By automatic, I mean you just pick, for example, Google if you use G Suite. You click on Continue. Yeah, and then you just pick an email account that you want to connect. After that, this email account will be connected automatically. Okay, let's get back. But if you use any other email provider, maybe GoDaddy, or maybe use an external SMTP service, for example, SendGrid or Mailgun, you can pick other IMAP option and then Advanced. So you don't need to worry if you're not using Google, Office 365 or Exchange. If you use any other IMAP account, you will be able to connect it with Woodpecker. Okay, so that's how advanced integration, email integration or SMTP integration looks like. So here you will need to provide Woodpecker with IMAP and SMTP servers data. So again, if you use SendGrid or Mailgun or maybe use Amazon SaaS, here you will be able to pick it and to connect it. Okay, let's get back. Also, if you have any problems with connecting your SMTP, feel free to contact our support. All right, I will pick my email. And before I add the content of my first email, I would like to show you one article which is really important. It's called 14 deliverability checks to carry out before sending your cold email campaign. If I scroll down, I'll be able to see those specific steps, and I would like to emphasize some of them. The first one, you can see set up a separate email account for outbound. I would like to add set up a separate email account and a domain, right? Why? You definitely need to consider creating a separate domain and separate mailbox. And the reason for that is simply to keep your main business domain in the safe place. That's the most important reason for that. Also, you will need to set up SPF and DKIM, email authentication records, to have a good deliverability. It's important as well. And after that, you will need to warm up a brand new mailbox and a brand new domain. Those steps really important, and we have recorded a separate video which is available on YouTube as well. You'll find it in description. Yeah, check it out. Also, if you want to check details, simply find this article on our blog. Let's get back and let's start building our campaign, our sequence. Yeah, as you can see, my signature is already been added because I have configured it in settings. So every time I add a campaign, it's automatically added. And yeah, I have prepared my copy. Of course, I can type in my email right here, but I have prepared my copy and it's in my text edit. So here is my subject line. Basically, I have two subject lines. Yeah, let me add the first one. Okay, and first name, we call it snippet. I have added in my copy, but of course I can add it from here. So basically, those fields, those blue fields, those are personalization fields. We call them snippets, and they allow you to personalize the content of your emails. How do they work? Snippets just pull the data that you have in database and put it in into your email. So everything depends on what you have in your database, right? In a minute or in a few minutes, you will be able to see how the database in Woodpecker looks like and how you import data from your Excel or CSV file and how you connect those fields. But basically, it is connected with your database. So on this stage, just trust me, it works. It personalizes your emails. So the first subject line is first name, join me for an exclusive webinar. But what I want to do here is to test my subject line, to A/B test my subject line. Another one is lead generation strategies to boost company. Yeah, it's more maybe it's more attractive. Yeah, what I want to do is simply to test which subject line works better. Lead generation strategies to boost company, or first name, join me for an exclusive webinar. We'll see. Generally, I encourage you to A/B test your content, whether it's a subject line, whether it's your email body, test it. And choose the content that works the best. Also, in a minute, I'll show you stats and how you will be able to decide which version works well, which version doesn't work well, and then you will be able to turn off the version that doesn't work well. Yeah, but let's finish our campaign before that. Okay, so here's my copy. Yeah, let me clean it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so here's my webinar link. And I would like to shorten this link, to tell the truth. And I can use this option right here. So here's the URL. I will put it right here. And as a text, I will use just link. Also, here you can see the option track clicks. Also, you can see that this option is not recommended. By default, Woodpecker tracks who open your emails, right? But Woodpecker doesn't track who clicks on the link you attach. If you want to track clicks, you will be able to enable this option right here, but it's not recommended because potentially it can decrease your deliverability by 15, by 20%. So it's better not to track clicks. If you want to check details, just click on not recommended and you will see the article where we have explained everything. Yeah, and that's basically my fast email. Also, here's an HTML editor if you want to maybe to use some custom fonts or you want to add images, you will be able to do that. Of course, you shouldn't use too many HTML code in your emails because it also affects your deliverability. But to have a signature, to have an image, definitely it's important. It's your credibility, but it should be well optimized. If you have devs or you are HTML pro, of course it's better to craft your own signature than, for example, to use signature builders. But you can use signature builders as well that are available in the internet. All right, so let's get back. Okay, and on the right hand you have delivery time, and here you will be able to specify when you want to send your emails. So I'd like to send from Monday till Friday, from 9 or 9, it will be fine. From 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. I can apply that to all. What you need to consider here is that Woodpecker, by default, sends around 30 emails per 1 hour, right? So let's say you want to send, so you change the limit from 50 to maybe 150 emails. So to send 150 emails during the day, you will need to extend your delivery time window, right? So you will need to pick at least 5 or even 6 hours, right? But generally, great practice is to extend the time window. Even if you send 50 emails, it's better to extend the time window, for example, from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., right? During the whole working day. But that's, of course, completely up to you. It depends on your strategy. But that's good practice, and that's it has a good impact on your deliverability. Yeah, and then you can specify a time zone. So if you send those emails to prospects that are based in US or in Europe, don't forget to specify a time zone. There's also an option use prospects time zone if it's available. If in your database you have data about individual time zones of particular prospects, you will be able to use this option, and each prospect will be contacted within specific time zone. But also we do have a feature which is in prospects that allow you to detect time zone. Yeah, but it is based on country column. You should have you should know, or you should have information about countries, yeah, of specific prospects, and after that you will be able to use this feature. And of course, here is the option to send a test email. You will be able to send a test email to your own email to see how this email will look like in real email client. Okay, so let's move on. Really important feature, conditions. Yeah, if you click on add condition. Why conditions? Because basically you have two conditions that you can set up right here. The first one is when you want to send your follow-up. And of course, your follow-up will be sent only to prospects that do not reply. If the prospect replies, yeah, Woodpecker stops the sequence automatically. So here you can specify days. For example, if during 5 days you don't receive a response, Woodpecker sends a follow-up email. Generally, adding follow-ups is really important. Adding follow-ups is crucial, right? If you want to have a higher open rate, and if you want to have better reply rates, add follow-ups. It really works. The optimal number of follow-ups is 2 or 3. But of course, everything depends on your individual needs and your individual strategy. Also, instead of days, you will be able to use hours, and you will be able to follow up people in 1, 2, 3 and more hours. The next condition, we call it if campaigns. It means that based on clicks or opens, you will be able to follow up people differently. For example, those people that open your previous email will receive this copy. And people that haven't opened your previous email will receive this copy. Let me add the copy itself. So for those that have opened an email, I have prepared this copy. And for those people that haven't opened my email, here's this copy. So as you can see, I'm giving more context for those that haven't opened my email, right? So that's definitely a good idea to... Okay, I will copy this link. Just give me a sec. Yeah, so that's definitely a good idea to follow up people that haven't or have opened email, previous email differently, because those people that are engaged with your emails, you can follow up them with shorter emails, simply engaging them into conversation with you. But those that haven't opened your previous email, you can give them more context and simply to give them more details. Okay, so I have first email, and then I have one follow-up in the path yes, and one follow-up in the path no. Of course, I can add more follow-ups, and you can be quite persistent with Woodpecker. In each path, you will be able to add up to 7 follow-ups. So yeah, it's true that you can be persistent, but that's completely up to you. All right, I think my sequence is ready, and now I want to move to prospects. So basically, there are 3 ways of adding prospects: import, manual, or from database. I'd like to show you how you can import your prospects from a CSV, XLS, or XLSX files. But before I add my file, here's the question. What would you like to do with duplicate contacts? And the first option is to ignore the new entry and keep the existing contact intact. And the second option is update the existing contact with changed or new fields. So basically, if you want to update already existing prospects in Woodpecker, you choose the second option. If you want to import completely new prospects, you use the first option. Okay, let me browse my file. Here it is. Yeah, and then upload and import. The next step is to map data in Woodpecker, or maybe another way, data in your file with the data in Woodpecker. Yeah, so that's basically the first row in my file, right? What I need to do is simply to map first name column with first name columns and last name columns with the last name columns, right? Here's the option to ignore the first row, and then clicking on import. Okay, 10 prospects imported, 0 duplicates. Let's add them. Also, Woodpecker notifies me that out of 10 selected prospects, 1 has already been contacted. And that's my decision whether I want to add them or to remove them. Okay, my prospect's been added, and let's move to the next section, and the next section is send. So here is a short summary of my campaign. I have 2 emails in path yes, 2 emails in path no, and it's A/B test campaign, and I have 10 prospects. Before sending my campaign, I'd like to see how it looks like for specific prospects. That's why I'm clicking on preview option. Okay, here we are. And after that, I will scroll down, and this is email for Haley. That's email for Emily, for Jennifer, and for Martin. And also I want to show you a really great option, which is called Customize. And you can see it right here. So I have used quite basic personalization. I have used first name in the subject line. Also I have used first name in email body. But if I want to customize it for specific prospects, right? I just click on Customize, yeah, and I want to send a little bit different personalization to Martin, yeah, and I will add PS. Congrats, let's say this person got promoted, yeah, congrats on your promotion. And only Martin will receive that. That's definitely a great option, and it's available in preview. Okay, I think I'm ready to send my campaign. I'll get it back, click on send again, and here we go. Okay, the next step is to show stats. Those stats are empty. That's why I want to show you already existing campaign. Yeah, it's also A/B test campaign. That's why I want to show it. Okay, so in this specific campaign, I have contacted, or any of my colleagues have contacted 16 prospects, and that's how the process looks like. You add prospects, you start your campaign. The next step and the next thing Woodpecker does is validation. Woodpecker validates and verifies your addresses of your prospects. If there are invalid and non-existent addresses, Woodpecker validates it, and Woodpecker drop them off your campaign. So those prospects are not being contacted, and you will be able to see what addresses been invalid. That's definitely a great feature because some people they use services or tools for that, and they pay money for that. In Woodpecker, you have it in any package. If you use a startup plan or you use a Team Pro plan, this feature is available, and it's a built-in feature. Okay, after that, Woodpecker sends emails. Then you may receive bounces due to multiple reasons, right? There are hard bounces and soft bounces. Okay, and then those emails being delivered, and then you can get unsubscribes. And I forgot to tell you that by default, Woodpecker, you do not have an unsubscribe attached to your emails. Unsubscribe option can be added by you, and it's available within snippets. Then you might get clicks, opens, responses, and then you will be able to tag your prospects. If we scroll down a bit, we'll be able to see stats for each path and for specific emails. Yeah, that's path yes, and as you can see, this email was A/B tested, and here's a version A and a version B. And in version A, this campaign was created by my colleague Victoria, and in this specific email, the subject line was, "Is it the right time to talk now? First name." In version B, we had lead generation at company. And now we can compare stats. Of course, in this specific campaign, like only 15 emails were sent, right? To analyze and to decide which version works better, of course, you need to send at least a couple hundreds emails before you decide which version is better, right? But Just as an example, you can see that in version B we have better open rates, right? But response rates are much better in version A, right? On this stage. So I think we should wait, and after sending a couple hundreds of emails, we'll be able to decide which version we want to turn off. Okay, let's get back. If you want to see specific responses, for example, you just click on Responded, and then you will be able to see who exactly responded, right? And to tag those people as interested, maybe later, or not interested. Let's check this person. Okay, this person is interested. That's why this person being tagged as interested. Yeah, those tags on this stage are manual, but also we are working on automatic interest level, where Woodpecker will be able to see if this person is interested or not, and the system will be able to tag them automatically. On this stage, you do it manually, and you decide who is interested or not. Also, there are filters, and you will be able to filter, for example, interested people, and to export them to, as a CSV file. If you scroll up a bit, we'll see To Check option. In To Check, you will see prospects that been posed manually. For example, you want to pose delivery or sending process to specific prospects. You can do this by changing their status to posed, manual, and then you will be able to see those prospects in To Check, manual. Also, here you will be able to find prospects, and there are secondary reply, other campaign tab, auto reply, missing snippet. So if it's a secondary reply, in this specific campaign I do not have secondary reply prospects, but how it works? The process looks like this. You're contacting a person from a specific company. Then this person forwards your email to another person, and this secondary person replies to your campaign. Woodpecker is able to see this. Woodpecker qualifies it and puts it right here as a secondary reply, this secondary email address. Also, you will be able to see this. Other campaign, it's when you add in prospects to 2 or 3 campaigns simultaneously. Also, Woodpecker notifies you. Auto replies is when you receive out of office auto replies. Woodpecker also sees that, qualifies that, and stops the sequence, and then you will be able to reschedule follow-ups for those people that are on vacation, out of office, and so on. And missing snippet. Of course, Woodpecker doesn't send emails with incomplete snippets, because in your database you might have prospects that are missing, for example, first name. And of course, Woodpecker won't send an email to a person without a first name. Of course, if you use a first name snippet in your email body, right? Okay. The next thing that I want to show you is prospects view. So that's a prospects database. That's how it looks like in Woodpecker. Here I will be able to filter prospects, but I would like to talk about tags, because tags, that's a great option to filter your prospects. And I have some tags here. I want to show you how it works. So here's the tags column, right? And I want to tag this person as a CEO, because this person is a CEO. And then, for example, industry. This person is working in fintech. If I want to filter people that are CEOs in fintech industry, I pick tag CEO, and then another tag, fintech. And that's how I'll be able to filter prospects. And that's how you will be able to filter prospects. Okay, the next, inbox. So inbox, that's basically the place where you will be able to see all the replies to your campaigns. If you have multiple email addresses, of course, you will be able to see specific inboxes in one place. That's also cool. Here you will be able to reply, to forward those emails, to delete them, or to create a new email. So basically, Woodpecker can be used as an email client. And the last section is settings. So in settings, of course, you will have like such basic settings, profile settings, change password, and so on. Here you have reports. So if you want to download daily, weekly, monthly reports, that's the place where you will be able to do that. In company settings, you will be able to add team users to collaborate with your team. In safety, you will be able to add domains or to blacklist domains of companies that you don't want to contact. And if campaigns, where you will be able to turn off or turn on if campaigns feature. And really interesting settings are in email accounts, because here, of course, setting from name, signature, configuration of your SMTP and so on, but really interesting in sending, because here you will be able to set a global limit for this specific email account of how many emails you can send daily, right? By default, there's a limit of 500 emails. But for example, because you should be aware of your email provider limits. For example, if you use a G Suite, and for example, if you're in trial mode, your limits are really low, right? So maybe it's better to change a global email for this specific email account from 500 to 200 per day, right? Because you have a like campaign local limit, and let's say you have set a limit of 100 emails per campaign, but you run 10 campaigns simultaneously, so this limit can be exceeded, right? So it's better to keep it safe and to set up a global limit. And here's the sending frequency. As I already mentioned, around 30 emails per hour by default, but you can change it. You can change the sending frequency, and you can send more emails per hour, even 180. That's basically the max, but that's definitely what we do not recommend to do, and we recommend to leave it like it is by default, because email providers have quantity limits, of course, but also sending frequency limits, yeah? And you shouldn't exceed those limits, because you can be blocked. Use this default frequency, but of course, if there are people that are really advanced, they are aware of your limits, and they know that, all right, I can change it a little bit. You can do that. And here are some other options. Custom tracking domains, or BCC. You can add BCC to your CRM. Custom tracking domains, you can add your own domains, because by default, Woodpecker tracks unsubscribes, email opens, and clicks using own domains. But you will be able to use your own domain, and it's much better for your deliverability. If you're interested in details, check the article, which you can find right here. Okay, another option, deliverability. I'd like you to see this, because great feature. Woodpecker checks your SPF and DKIM records. If they are good, if they are set up in the right way, that's great. But if there is some problem with your SMTP or DKIM, right? We have prepared a video and also a help article about how to set them up. I'm sorry. All right, let's get back. And integrations. I love this part, because I am integrations lover, and I personally use Zapier and our integrations through Zapier a lot. And you can see that some of those integrations are native. So Woodpecker natively integrated with those tools, and we have prospecting tools, but some of them you do not have this label. It means that those integrations are available through the Zapier or PySync. Yeah, those are platforms that allow you to connect apps. And I really recommend using integrations, especially if you have a CRM, whether you use a PyDrive, HubSpot, or maybe a Salesforce. Check out Zapier. That's definitely a great way to automate your workflow. Also, we have WordPress integration. So if you have a website on WordPress and you have a form on your website, and you can, when people fill in the form and fill in the email address, this email address can be added as a prospect to a specific Woodpecker campaign, and you can automatically contact people that fill in the form. That's also a great option. Also, you can see an integration with Zoom, which is also on this stage via Zapier. There are more integrations through Zapier, to tell the truth. Here you can see maybe the most popular ones, but you will find a lot of apps in Zapier. When it comes to Zoom, if you run webinars, that's definitely a great way to connect Woodpecker with Zoom and to follow up your registrants before the webinar, after the webinar, right? Simply to engage them into personal conversations. Check it out and don't hesitate. Okay, and of course, API keys here. So we do have an API. If you're advanced, you want to connect with some, you want to have some custom solution, or you want to connect your Zapier account, that's the place where you connect an API key. All right, so that's basically all that I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions or you want to get a personal demo, just go on our website, Woodpecker.co. And here's an option to pick a personal demo. Guys, thank you so much for watching this demo. I hope it was useful for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in comments, to contact us personally through our website. Also, if you like to get a personal demo and to consult your specific use case, don't hesitate to schedule it on our website. Wish you a great day, great week. Keep safe. Bye-bye.